Please welcome Lenovo Executive Vice President and President of Lenovo Data Center Group, Kirk Skaugen.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity to talk to you about Lenovo and our increasing commitment to open source and why we think different is better at Lenovo. I thought I'd start with just a snapshot, since the company has evolved in such a significant way over the last couple of years, just a snapshot of where we are at today. So obviously, most people know us as the world's largest PC company, and that's true. This is the 25th year of the ThinkPad, and I don't think anyone 25 years ago would have thought that this company could have grown to a company now with over 160 countries, 55,000 employees, and $45 billion in revenue. But the ThinkPad is kind of the heritage that we grow up in. We've now acquired the Motorola phone business, and in the fourth quarter crossed over to be the fourth largest phone company outside of China, number 2 in countries like India, the second largest phone market in the world. That was the acquisition from Google. And then we've organized into a third business, which I manage, which is the Data Center Group, celebrating kind of the history about over 2 years ago acquiring the IBM x86 business. But now a number 200 brand, Fortune 500 company, just surpassing Nike, Oracle, companies like that, Coca-Cola, to be number 200 in the top 100 global brand. The data center piece of that, I think we're now celebrating a few decades of innovation. And I say that because I just celebrated 24 years at Intel. I joined Intel right out of college in 1992, and 6 months ago I was looking for where I would go for the next phase of my career. And I thought Lenovo and this heritage was really exciting about where we would go for the next 25 years, hopefully, of my career. But the Data Center Group, with the acquisition of the X Series business, the legacy systems business we had with Lenovo in China, and now Blade Network Technologies and a few other networking companies, we think positions us very well without kind of this legacy heritage that I'll talk about that some of our competitors have. It really positions us nicely to partner with companies like Red Hat on open source and software defined, and not be encumbered by having to worry about 65% gross margins on our legacy SANs or our legacy routers and things. So what's exciting to me about joining this company, and I joined Lenovo about 6 months ago to manage this group, is when I joined Intel 24 years ago, we were generating 100 gigabytes of data per day. Now I look at my career 25 years later at 2.5 billion gigabytes per day. And when I stood up here, as an Intel employee, I'd say that our vision was if it consumes electricity, it's going to compute. And if it computes, it's going to connect to the internet. And so what's exciting to me about where you actually stand in cloud computing and in the emergence of software-defined and containers and open source is if you look at what's going to happen over the next 9 years, we're going to have 440 quintillion bytes of data. So sitting up here saying we're celebrating the 25th year of the ThinkPad on PC, I look out 10 years, 20 years, and say Lenovo didn't invent the PC, we just became number 1. But today we're selling 4 smart devices every second, 100 servers every hour, and we're the 3rd largest server company in the world. Our goal is to expand that to out of servers into networking, into storage, through open source, and through this dramatic shift that you've heard everyone talk about over the last several days. So I think it's exciting if you look at a company and a customer of Lenovo's like Vestas. They're the largest wind turbine company in the world. And what I've always said is the internet of today was people to people. It's moving to people to machine, but it's going to move to machine. So here's a company with 50 million sensors out there doing meteorological data, working with Lenovo on the server side and our application optimization. And we just had a very simple goal out there. We want to be the most trusted data center provider in the world. Come in without this legacy, talk about solutions, partner the best in the industry, and I think it's a great case study with Vestas because this world is moving to machine. And at the end of the day, what I think Lenovo does is take great technology from partners like Intel or AMD or others and just build great x86 hardware that can deliver record performance and partner better than hopefully any company in the world. I think my view when I joined Lenovo was it didn't become number 1 in PCs by just being the cost leader. It really did try to innovate on ThinkPads through security and manageability, through 2-in-1s, through Ultrabooks. And it's that same innovation focus that we inherited from IBM, traditionally around x86 compute and open source. This lack of legacy, the CIO after CIO that I talk to doesn't want to be encumbered by $100 million or $1 billion legacy service agreements. They just want a company that can partner, be on open source, and aggressively move forward with the most cost-effective technology. At the end of the day, I get to take advantage of millions and millions and millions of desktops, tablets, smartphones coming off of our own manufacturing, and that's the same place I'm putting my server technology through. So it's an incredibly cost-optimized business in a tough hardware market, but we have no real intention of going up the stack like some of our competitors. We just want to partner. That's the key message I guess I'd leave you with. No legacy, innovate. Little things don't mean a lot. Little things mean everything to us to kind of squeak out the last bit of performance. So if you look at what does it mean to be in the x86 server business and what do we bring to open source, for basically since we acquired the IBM business in January 2015, 22 of the last 28 studies since 2009, we've been #1 in customer satisfaction for x86 servers, third-party data. We're the fastest growing supercomputer company on the planet with 99 of the top 500 supercomputers, most on open source. #1 in SAP performance. SAP is running their SAP HANA on Lenovo publicly. #1 in server reliability for 4 years running. So really what we want to stand up in front of this audience today say is, look, we want to partner. We think we can have the engineering prowess to work with you as solution providers, with you as developers, with you as then customers, and get the last bit of performance out of the machines. And the end result is you're going to see things like 32 world record benchmarks, fastest performance in the world on almost all databases, those kind of things, and a supply chain that of companies over 12 billion is in the top 25 in the world, of all companies in all segments. So we can help with people on supply chain by being a person that participates, but the most important thing is different is better in helping tweak the last bit of performance out of open source. So if you look at the hardware market, what we see is it's an $80 billion going to $93 billion market, but the way we've reorganized the group since I've come on board is against 4 segments. Hyperscale computing, or the top hyperscalers in the world. So we're participating at Baidu and Alibaba, Tencent, some of the largest West Coast hyperscalers. And here, we just use our manufacturing capacity. If we can make some little money on desktop towers, we can build very, very cost-effective infrastructure for the hyperscalers. On software-defined, this is really about, again, lack of legacy and moving and leapfrogging over as a person without legacy to be able to move into software-defined in a major way. In HPC and artificial intelligence, again, we're going to take our position as the fastest growing supercomputer company in the world, #1 in China, and leverage that over into artificial intelligence. And then in data center infrastructure, we're building more solutions capability every day, leveraging the best of what we got from IBM, but also, especially in open source over the last 2 years, significantly increasing our contributions. And that's what I'll talk about over the next few minutes. So our commitment now to open source, if you just understand that what we're trying to do is build reference designs and base platform hardware for you, is we now participate in over 30 different open source standards organizations in the world, up over the last 2 years. We've got engineers focused on all of those. At the OpenStack Summit next week, we're contributing to the next generation OpenStack Pike platform. We're doing 4 white papers with our engineering teams there. We're today announcing the Opal platform, which we said a year ago at this conference that we would do, which was the open platform at Lenovo. It's a cost-optimized, hardened OpenStack reference design to build the best NFV solutions on top of for the next 5G infrastructure. So a huge contributor now to OpenStack, and you can see the reference design in our booth downstairs. Delivering open compute platform nodes, working as a tier 1 provider to open compute platform alongside people like Facebook and Intel and others. And then sponsoring the OpenStack Summit Upstream Institute. So a significant increase in our open source commitment, I would say almost exponential over the last 2 years, and I'm excited today to announce the fact that we're showing real hardware in our booth of something that we thought was just a vision a year ago here. If you look at the co-engineering we're doing with Red Hat now, and again, my team is obviously a global team given we participate in 160 countries around the world, but our headquarters is co-located in Raleigh. Most of our team is in Raleigh, North Carolina. But we are participating in over 12 OpenStack projects with Red Hat. We're a top contributor to the Cinder storage project. We have collaboration initiatives on converged infrastructure, on telco NFV, on hybrid cloud management. So I'd encourage you to get down. We have some of our technical experts in the booth, and they can give you kind of a next view here. But we're basically taking our xClarity management software, integrating it in to manage IQ and some of these other solutions to build a better together story with Red Hat that we honestly think can be second to none. Since this is a conference that's celebrating the individual, I think it's a unique opportunity for me to talk on stage and celebrate some Red Hatters from Red Hat that we think have been instrumental in the transformation we've had over the last 2 years and some of the massive transformation we've had. So Jason Frey, Julian Chile, and Greg Bloomquist are helping our network management team of engineers. Luis Arizmendi is a solution architect who has helped tremendously on the ETSI project. Dan Radez is a senior software engineer with Red Hat who's helped us on the OpenNFV Plugfest. And Dave Kane is a senior solution architect who basically lives at our campus in Morrisville, North Carolina. He's been a key individual with our research team in helping deliver our OpenStack and new converged solutions. So how about we give these guys a round of applause? Excellent. So I believe in being simple and quick. What motivates me beyond just the contributions that we're all making to open source, the partnerships we build is a community of working together for decades, whether it was my old company or my new company. To me, it's the impact we're making in the marketplace. And if you go down to the solution showcase, you'll see some people that, because of open data and open compute platforms, we're seeing some amazing research being done in the areas of cancer research and solving some of the world's biggest humanitarian problems. So I thought I'd close and just show you a video of what it means to embrace open source, but most importantly, as partners, what we're doing to help some of the world's biggest humanitarian challenges. So run the video, please. So thank you all for, that's a long heartbeat. Thank you all for your partnership with Lenovo. I think what I wanted to leave you with is we believe our partnership with Red Hat is stronger than ever. You know, what you saw there is the Barcelona supercomputer, which is in the Torrigione Chapel. It was the fastest supercomputer in Europe. We're upgrading it right now to the next generation Purley platform from Intel to be 12 times faster. We're taking out about 48 kilometers of cabling and replacing it right now in Barcelona, Spain. But you can also go with Red Hat to University of Adelaide and see some of the most amazing cancer research in the world. We're upgrading that computer to be 30 times faster. University of Notre Dame, we're building a supercomputer with Red Hat to basically track hurricane prediction faster so we can get people evacuated, fewer people are evacuated more accurately and save human lives. So my commitment today is we're here to build the best open source platforms in the world. We're trying to put our actions where our mouth is, both in terms of end customer proof points, but also in the solutions that we said we would bring to you last year. Come down to our booth and see those, and I really look forward to the next several years of both the partnership with Red Hat and all of you. Thank you very much.